This is Absurdly Nerd's top 10 scariest video game characters. Number 10, the Flood from Halo.
Oh,
let's go.
This was like my number 2. Dude, this honestly, this is one I'll talk about. This made me not go. Like, when I played Halo Combat Evolved, I played with my stepdad. So we played a lot of co-op. And I avoided playing this game by myself because the Flood were so scary.
I think it's because I played it so recently is why I didn't have it on my list. It's just like it wasn't.
The music
scared me.
Changes. Oh, dude, when it first pops up and these guys, like, you're watching the video on that guy's helmet.
Oh, yeah.
So scary.
But yeah, like I played Halo 1 last year, and that is a really good scene of like just when that first starts up, the flood and all that.
Well, everything in the rest of that game becomes scary. Like, all of a sudden, the game shifts in tone. And it's
yeah.
I think they could really make a true horror game, Halo style. Like,
yeah.
With the flood element.
ODST is scary.
Yeah, that one's scary because it's more grounded. Like, it is a great game.
And the brutes are way harder to kill and shit.
But now they definitely could if the money was there in it. That's the problem. Is there's not as much money in it.
Number 9, we have Chica from Five Nights at Freddy.
Okay. I
had Freddy, but I changed it just because you had Chica so high that I was like, I'll just instead of having a split, I was like, we'll add the points together for what I had.
I think Chica's scarier personally. Like, when I see her and the way she's more aggressive, but I understand, like, recognition wise, people are gonna be like, oh, that's the guy from Five Nights at Freddy's.
I still want to play the new one and see how good it is.
I've heard good things about Security Breach, but I didn't. They say it's not as scary as like
it's more like
jump scary as that.
Yeah.
Chica haunts me as far as that game goes because she's always the one that gets to the door first. I mean, I guess you could have argued that the fox, I can't remember.
Oh, the fox is creepy.
Yeah, just because he all of a sudden is there, like you don't even think to look for him, and then
he's the one that's trapped in the box or something.
No, he's the one that's behind the curtain.
The second game is the one where there's one trapped.
Yeah. That personally, the first game still stands out as a scary
because it's so classic.
Yeah, but I just feel like they needed to have one of those characters there, and personally for me, it's Chica.
Number 8, we have Necromorphs from Dead Space.
That's a good one.
This is the one that I was telling you about. Is a common enemy, and it made me not play the game by myself.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
Like, I made it through. I never beat this game, and it's because they were so fucking terrified.
I have no clue what this is. What it looks
like.
It's the main
hooky hands and everything. Like,
it's the first villain you fight.
It's just the common enemy. But well, you'll know in January.
I'll find out in January. But this is my biggest, like, I don't know any, like, as much as I like horror games, I haven't played.
So terrifying. Does not bode well that my 1 and 2 are so low on this list for me.
You're the only ones that had them. You're the only one that had both of them.
Yeah, and I figured.
Number 7, the Trapper from Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
And y'all both had any killer, so I just went with the iconic one.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I mean, the first one that came to mind for me was the Hag, just because she scares me the most.
Scary.
Yeah.
But the Trapper,
the nurse scares me.
The nurse is scary too. Yeah.
What I was saying in the group chat is that they're all so scary because the whole premise of this game is you sneaking around. You cannot fight these people.
Yeah.
There's no way to fight them. You're not faster than them. Their traps are much better, and you have to do a QTE to win.
And all of a sudden you start hearing the music.
Over again.
Yeah.
They're getting closer.
And they get closer, and it's just like you're crouched behind this fucking bale of hay, and then here zooms by the enemy, and you're so scared.
And you're like, did he see me? Did he see me?
Yeah. And you're just like,
around.
wait a
I
minute.
would say the Trapper is the most consistent one I see when I play. Yeah. And it is, like, it still scares me.
Yeah, because like the Wraith, I got tired of. He doesn't scare me anymore.
The Bell.
But he used to.
Yeah.
The Bell used to freak me out.
The Bell used to be like, oh shit.
And the Shocking, hearing the Shocking.
I do hate
the Doctor.
Yeah.
I do hate the Wraith as you can't see him when he's invisible, so he could just be behind you the whole time and have a huge upper hand.
Oh yeah, just wait for you to start.
And you can't, like I said, there's no way to attack or run. Like you have to be fucking really good, and it's just the Wraith sucks.
Right. All right, the next one was my number 1. It is Laura from Evil Within.
Laura.
And that is the
the
sister that
she was on my
chases
list.
you.
She was on my list.
Amalgamation of arms.
Yes.
The one that chases you in the hallways.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I didn't think about that.
It's
so
terrifying.
That is a very terrifying enemy.
Yeah,
sure.
she's like one of the
was,
first villains too.
Well, it's about midway.
Oh,
I let my roommate Michael play that part, and he was terrified.
It's so scary.
Dude, I am a complete chicken when it comes to scary games, and this was the first time. How old were we when this came out? 17?
You weren't here because me and you we was texting back and forth because we both bought it day one.
Yeah, I had it, but how old were we? We were in high school.
No, it was right after.
Right after high school?
Yeah.
That's even worse. I was gonna say this is the first time that I had enough bravery to attempt to play a game like this. I mean, obviously I played Resident Evil and stuff growing up, but that was like with my brother, my dad. You know, like I always had someone doing it for me. I was just kind of watching. This is the first time I was like, I'm going to buy this game and beat this game. And getting to that moment, it took a lot to get past it.
There's a few weeks where me and Marley had conversations back and forth.
How terrifying that.
Yeah, it's the worst enemy in the game that got me off of that game, the invisible ones. If everything was like her and some of the other, more creative enemies, I would have finished that game and it would have been one of my favorites ever.
When I was looking up, just looking at the creatures and stuff, there's some from Evil Within 2, and I never did play it enough to have any, but I'm sure there's some good ones in it.
I started playing Evil Within 2, and I got into the main streets, and I was like, oh, it's open world now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel it's scary in its own way, but it starts feeling like
it's like
an arcade game or something.
It's the same formula. It's you sneak past a group of enemies, here's another group of enemies. Like, if I kill this group of enemies, 20 feet away, there's another group of enemies that don't know I'm there. I'm
right.
I've spent so many hours
feeling like Dead Rising.
I was playing it on the hardest difficulty when I first started Evil Within 2. Yeah, dumb choice. I wouldn't ever do it now. But I was in that main first little open world area for so long that it kind of got not scary.
Harder difficulty does not mean scarier, Eric.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Number 5, Big Daddy from Bioshock.
Hey, yep, I didn't know if anyone else would think. I almost put him at 1 just to make sure he made the list.
Yeah, I put Big Daddy or Splicer because the first encounter you have with the female Splicer is fucking
baby
terrifying.
one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
That's terrifying. But the Big Daddy is just so ominous and slow, and you can hear his footsteps, and it's fucking.
That was the most terrifying part of the game.
I was torn with that decision too between Splicer and Big Daddy. And I will say Splicer has the scariest moment in that game for me. And it's not even when you think. Like the moment you're talking about is when most people think. Late in the game, like near the end of the game, you're walking through a hallway and there's a bunch of Splicer bodies on the ground. And you're walking through and you're like, this doesn't feel right. Why are they all dead? And you get halfway and then half of them jump up and start attacking you. And that shit scared me so bad. But the Big Daddy consistently, after a while, the Splicers were pretty much not that scary. You were just killing so many of them. The Big Daddy, no matter what, hearing those feet and that, and you're
like, do I have enough right now to take it on?
Right, yeah. And it's always going to be a hell of a
especially
fight.
because when I was playing with headphones at my parents' house, and it was the toom, toom, just hearing the stomping.
Yeah.
That game, I want to just give it some praise right now. It is the best horror game that allows you to still feel powerful.
Yeah.
Because it balances it all out so well. Like, it's still scary because you're managing resources in like Resident Evil is good for that too. Perfectly balanced, what you have to what you need. Management. But I think this is the most fun gameplay in a horror game ever, and it still stays scary for the most part throughout the game.
Number 4, and probably an upset on this list, Pyramid Head for Silent Hill 2.
That is an upset. I thought it'd be number 1.
Yeah, I had him lower.
Dude, that is my. That is the most nightmare character.
I started Silent Hill 2 after work, so I worked night shift, and I would get home at 3 a.m. and I was playing Silent Hill 2, and I got to that part, and I was like, we need to stop playing this at night.
I've never played Silent Hill.
It's not. It needs a remake. It's not fun to play.
Not now, no. But when I was a kid playing, it was just the demos and stuff. I don't think we ever bought that game because we knew we wouldn't beat it because it was so scary. But just the demos, man, and just secondhand watching other people, I don't know, it's just the idea of this character. Plus I watched the movie when I was way too young.
I've never seen the movies.
It's not a good movie, but he's scary as crap in that. Like
the Pyramid Head,
he picks up one character in it and literally pulls the entire skin off it.
No shit.
Yeah, and that stuck with me at 10. I should not have been watching it.
I wish this would get the Resident Evil treatment of remake and remake.
Yeah.
It would sell so good.
It could be like a fucking blockbuster.
Yeah. It'd be huge. It would sell so many copies. Yeah. Number 3, and I'm surprised Cole didn't have this on his list, Blue Knees from MADiSON.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Blue Knees was
it was very high on me.
I had it at 2 because I was like, what scared me? First thing I thought was what scared me the most in a video game ever. And this is up there. Pyramid Head came at first just because he stuck with me longer.
Yeah.
This might stick with me, going forward. But
Cole had PTSD. That's why he blocked it.
He separated himself from that.
I didn't want to be recency biased, and I don't really play a lot of scary games, so I didn't know. But Blue Knees was fucking terrifying, dude.
He looks scary. The
and
way
he
he's
fucking
introduced,
shakes and
the mechanic and everything.
The singing,
yeah.
Just they had all the elements of like just the old record player singing, and you don't know when he's coming after you, and like that was such a good section of that game.
Yeah.
And I'll say if y'all haven't played MADiSON, I strongly recommend checking it out, or just watching someone else play it if you're not the type to actually finish a horror game.
You could watch us play.
Yeah, like that was what I was going towards. Watch our gameplay if you don't want to play it yourself.
And it makes me so angry because our MADiSON videos got a lot of likes or got a lot of watches, except for the last one.
Yeah, and the last one's
the best one. It's so scary.
That's where Blue Knees is. And I was like, come on, bring that up to where the first one is.
Yeah.
But great game. We'll talk about that at the end of the year.
Yeah. Number 2, The Witch from Left 4 Dead.
Yes.
I didn't
Good. She was on my list.
We all had it.
Yeah.
See, I almost didn't put it on my list because I was like, this is not a horror game, but dude, she's so scary.
It's so scary.
It's so scary.
The fucking crying, females crying anyways is unsettling. It's maybe it's something in our primal things that we know we fucked up. It like she's crying, she's like crouched up, she's this tiny frail lady, and then when you wake her up, she's no joke. She's
screaming and running. That was like it was so terrifying playing that game.
The music
I played
is
it originally by myself, so I didn't know what the hell this witch shit was.
I think with a horror game or a scary character in general, less is more, and she's not doing too much. You know,
don't
like
really ever see her face.
Right, exactly. It's more the idea of her and the sound and
how
the
OP
shrillness,
she is,
and she's OP. She's gonna take your ass down.
I think Back 4 Blood would have benefited from something like that.
Yeah, they needed something truly terrifying, like something that make you like, oh, do not alert this thing, because we would alert the shit out of everything. in that game.
All
it's
the
like,
birds.
okay,
I don't care.
More,
birds.
more zombies. I don't know.
There wasn't enough of a penalty compared to the witch. She was a penalty.
She could mess up your whole team fast.
Yeah. That's why you take the sniper rifle, you walk right up to her and you put it on her head and you just fucking unload it before she hits you.
I don't think I ever killed her personally.
I have, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean I've killed her multiple times, but it was more.
Did the second
she was
game
already hitting someone else, and
Did the second game have anything like that?
Yeah, both of them had witches.
Really? Mm-hmm. All right, number 1 we have Mr. X from Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. He's not only is he terrifying, he's cool. Like he's cool and scary,
and they don't
memorable.
overuse him, and that's. Like before I played the Resident Evil 2 remake, I would have always went with Nemesis just because of the movie and
looking at him, he is scarier looking. I'll give you
like
that.
the fame of Nemesis is like he's the one to talk about, but playing both of those games, the remakes, I was like, oh, Mr. X is way scarier.
It goes back to the less is more. They're doing too much with Nemesis.
It's the silence that Mr. X has too. Exactly. Like he doesn't talk.
All of a sudden, he busts through the door and he just walks at your ass. Yeah. Instead of Nemesis, it feels like an actiony thing, and it's not.
He's got tentacles. He's
like again, he's like you look at his face and that'll freak anyone out. But we're not kids anymore, you know. Like it's more the idea of this thing is haunting me and chasing me, like Mr. X. But I think he fits at the top of the list. I want to see him in a movie, in a good movie.
His just a decent introduction into that game is awesome too, where you're just like doing the next thing, going towards that helicopter, and he just lifts it and throws it. And
X gonna give it to you.
Do you guys remember the Final Fantasy movies?
The
animated Final Fantasy
ones.
Yeah. They should do that with fucking Resident Evil. Stop this nonsense live action shit.
It's on Netflix. It's already out.
Oh, no. That doesn't mean it's good then.
It's good. I've heard good things. Yeah. I don't think, it doesn't tie into, I think it's in between a couple of games. Yeah. So they need to just take each game and make an anime about it and be done with it and give the fans what they want.
Anime is like the best medium for video games.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's the only way. At this point, I'm a purist. I'm like, hey, let video games be video games unless they're anime or comic books.
Yeah.
But that was a fun list.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. That was one of the funnest lists I put together, just to see the variety and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Snuck up on you, didn't it?
You really did.
That's number one.
Mr. X,
character you have.
He's wearing a fedora. There's nothing scary about a fucking fedora.
Cole, you didn't play this game, did you?
No.
Dude, I promise you have him chase you through.
I just seen him walk through the door. I've seen him play it, and I'm like, ooh.
Dude, the moment that he opens that door and steps his big ass through it, you're fucking scared.
And honestly, when you go into a safe room to save, and you're like, all right, it's a safe room, and he just busts in there, like, you're not supposed to be able to do that.
And he'll grab your ass up too. No, it's scary.
Grab me up, dude.
If the game wasn't delivered so well, maybe not. Maybe just looking at him, he's not that scary. But whenever you are in this world that is so well fleshed out, and then this big motherfucker that's twice your size is just persistently chasing you, but in like a Jason Voorhees kind of way, like that's really what it is. It's Jason Voorhees in a game.
It may be the fact that I don't really like that, where there's constantly someone chasing you.
It didn't feel. It wasn't.
The only games I've ever experienced that in are Resident Evil games.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
7, Jack.
Yeah, I guess that's true because MADiSON wasn't like a persistent chasing. It was like triggered.
2 or what the fuck 3.
The only time it's ever been too much was Resident Evil 3 remake with Nemesis. I think Jack was done well, and I think Mr. X was done.
Yeah, Jack is constantly chasing you too.
But like you hear him in other parts of the house, and it's not like oh shit, you know.
But no, I love that. That is my favorite thing in a horror game because otherwise it's just triggered. Like when I know a game is going to trigger something, action.
Without
in a game,
that,
then it's not scary.
It's just a puzzle.
Well, I mean,
right? Exactly.
If you're doing a first playthrough, you don't know it's coming if it's triggered.
But then once I beat the game, even with MADiSON, a game I liked a lot, it's like looking back, I'm like, oh, that was going to happen regardless.
Yeah, well, that's something to say for all horror games.
I like the horror game to feel alive, like almost like a Dead by Daylight, which is what the Resident Evil games feel like to me. It's like you're having to play cat and mouse with this thing, and I don't know, it makes it feel more real.
You know where you need to go. Well, you're trying to solve a room puzzle, pretty much, escape room.
Yeah, I think that speaks. I think that speaks to a wider point on horror games, the replayability of horror games.
That's true. Yeah.
If games aren't live like that, you won't replay them.
See, I do.
After you've been,
I'm just one of those weirdos.
I mean, I don't expect to ever play MADiSON again personally.
Never. I will never play it.
It's just you do it and you enjoy it.
But
you
10 years from now, I may get nostalgic and I may play it. But I mean,
maybe once you forget it enough. But I guess that's weird because you rewatch movies.
I'll never play it.
I'm never going to rewatch Revenant though. That's kind of my example there. It's like same idea.
See, I could replay any of the Resident Evils and be all right.
Resident Evil, we're saying that is a replayable.
That's a replayable because it's live
more than others. Like it's a live thing that you have to still make decisions, that change because of where Mr. X is at the time. Yeah. But that was really fun, and we'll do some more Halloween stuff soon, right?
And X gonna give it to you.
Yeah.